I work with the security operations and engineering teams within Ingenuity, which is a global e-commerce vendor. But it's actually an end-to-end system, so it's not just websites and applications that we provide our customers, but also marketing, fulfillment, and everything in between. I look after the engineering and security operations teams, making sure that both our business and our customers' businesses are staying as secure as possible.
So could you talk to us about some big tech priorities and challenges that you're having at Ingenuity?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenges we face is about scale of how much technology we have across our estate and the different types of technology that our engineers and developers want to use, making sure that they're built to best practices, making sure that there aren't any vulnerabilities within those technologies. The breadth and depth of technology is growing all of the time, and it's being able to keep up with that and stay on the forefront of keeping it secure. We use Elastic for security, so my department, the first place they go for any sort of information is Elastic. We use it as a SIEM platform, so our logging and alerting, and we use it for threat hunting and a number of other use cases, threat intelligence we're using it for. It really is the center of how security operates at Ingenuity. We gather data from all over our estate using the Elastic agent, using ingest pipelines, and gathering data from all sorts of different technologies all around the globe, and inputting that into Elastic and Elastic Security using the pre-built rules and analytics that Elastic Security provides us with, as well as our own rules on top of it. We're gathering data from all over our global estate and inputting that into the SIEM, into Elastic, and then we're using the pre-built rules and analytics that Elastic Security gives us to then detect and react and mitigate threats. We're also using it for things like threat intelligence, vulnerability management, and to make sure that we're keeping up to date with the latest threats that are going on in the world. And all that data is pumped into Elastic, giving it internal context, and then providing our analysts with rules and detections and investigations to do.
So first of all, how is cost impacted? It's lots of data that you're referring to, global sets of data. Is there any way that Elastic is being used to kind of make the cost management of analyzing data more efficient?
In security, the size and volumes of logs is always growing, so being able to store that for a reasonable time frame is an absolute necessity. Elastic, with its different tiers of storage and snapshots, searchable snapshots you can use, has really saved us massively on the amount of space and therefore the amount of spend we have to do to store those logs.
You spoke about the snapshots. How does that work? Is it kind of a cold storage used for infrequently accessed data? Is that kind of...
Yeah, exactly. So data that we're not going to be searching all the time. Maybe it's older data that doesn't need to be looked at now. It's already had queries run on it when it first hit the platform. So it's now stored for long-term compliance reasons, as well as analysts to go back over time. If an incident should happen, then to be able to see the lead up to that, it's very important to store that data. So we're snapshotting it, moving it to frozen storage, which means that it's slightly slower to come back, but it's hardly ever touched unless we really need it.
In terms of the context you're referring to that you give to Elastic, I assume you're referring to kind of training the LLMs or kind of the way Elastic uses the data. Does that mean over time that Elastic will become better at solving the problem? Yeah,
definitely. I think with the advent of Gen AI and that being integrated into Elastic, the fact that we can provide it using the retrieval augmented generation that Elastic has, basically we can provide it with things like playbooks so that it can tell the analysts what to do in case of a certain incident, but it can also provide them with information about the systems involved.
Can you talk about any features that you found particularly useful?
We've just started using CSPM because we're multi-cloud, we're hybrid cloud, we've got data centers on-premise, and we use all three of the major cloud providers. Because we've got technology in so many different places, we need to make sure that those systems are built to best practices. CSPM in Elastic allows us to have real insight to where things haven't maybe been built to the best security standards, show us over time how those platforms are being improved in terms of the way they're being built. It also can alarm us to new things being built in the future that aren't quite following the practices that we would like to instill within our engineers. We can provide that data in terms of dashboards to the actual owners of those cloud accounts, etc., so they can see for themselves, they can monitor for themselves what is going on within their accounts.
Earlier, you talked about the kind of heterogeneity of systems and the fact that there's different types of security threats. So, for example, there could be a UI-based security threat, and there could also be a database security threat, such as an injection threat. So, could you maybe talk about how Elastic is being used to agnosticize the search results?
Sure, yeah. So I think with the Elastic Common Schema really helps in that regard. So you can search across multiple different data sources that we're going to plug in, from your databases to your servers to your applications, and you can search that data using same fields across all of them. If you're looking for, from a security perspective, you're looking for an IP address or a domain that might have been connected to a command and control from a part of a threat actor's botnet or what have you. You can literally search once everywhere. That's really useful for the security team as well as for other team members. So our engineers might need to look across multiple data sets for troubleshooting what they're doing with their applications, etc. So having that common language between the two is really useful.
I've been walking around